Hello and welcome. CueSports International and Predator present the Alfa Las Vegas Open. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final. 192 players began this journey for this $125 prize fund, playing 10 ball, and this is the final between Pehlivanovic and our reigning champion, Viktor Zieliński. This is George Teachea, and I'm happy to be joined in the commentary booth by Jim White.
Hey, George. We knew we'd meet up after that semifinal, and we were booked for the final. And seeing Viktor Zieliński here, it's like deja vu all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, and we were almost at the point of having two Polish finalists, but Daniel Maciol succumbed to the young Sanjin Pehlivanovic.
Well, we'll see if Viktor can extract a little revenge for his countrymen after seeing his buddy get beat by Sanjin in the semi.
Well,
and how impressive is it for at the level of play today in today's game to see a man looking to repeat in a high-profile event like this, and this young fellow, you just can't say enough.
I totally agree. I mean, knowing the talent that was in this tournament, that was in last year's tournament, and to have this 21-year-old come through and be in the same place again. He's 22, excuse me, and be in the same place for a repeat. And on top of that, the year before he was 5th in this tournament.
Well, he looks like he's going to get off to a dream start in this final.
And he, faster than you can say whose shot is it, can go through 2 or 3 racks. But when in the finals, you gotta catch your pace and be a little more sure than just running around the table.
He was up in my club in Toronto last week with a handful of other players, Mika Immonen and Naoki Oi. Raj Hundal was there, and they were doing an exhibition, and I never really got a chance to speak to Viktor. He's such a quiet young man, you know, very, I wouldn't say introverted, but he's not out there like an Alex Pagulayan or any of those guys. You know, when Alex is in the room, not long, the whole room knows Alex is in the room. Not so much with Viktor, but he's, what a talent he is.
Yeah, he keeps to himself. He's very quiet. He's followed. Well, as we saw in the semifinal, there was 4 or 5 of his countrymen lined up in the stands supporting him, and they always. I remember the first time I saw him here, he had at least 2 or 3 with him all the time, trying to tone him down.
Yeah, they really do support their own, don't they?
They sure do. And that is why the Polish team probably has 7 to 8 players, or maybe even more, that really do a great job in these tournaments and all over the world.
And what an absolutely dream start this is for Viktor here. A break and run out, and they have been at a premium. Secures the opening rack. It's a race to 4. Best 2 out of 3 sets, and in the 3rd set, if it goes to 3-3, well, we get treated with the shootout format. That wouldn't shock me greatly if that happened, because there's not a lot to choose between these two.
No, there isn't. They're a year apart, and similar as far as shooting styles. This young man in the red shirt is free-flowing and fast around the table. The other man is more methodical.
Yeah, it takes a little bit more time. He asked the cue ball to get cleaned, was it 3 or 4 times in the semifinals, just to kind of slow himself down and give him a chance to hit the reset button. Zieliński, on the other hand, he flows. You know, you just can't see him slowing down for anything once he's at the table and the balls are in the open.
And actually, after that match was over, Jim and I spoke, and I mentioned to Jim, I says, you know, I think Pehlivanovic, his game would improve a little bit if he had more of a flow to it.
Yeah, true. Well, rack number 2.
Well, there's the ball on the break, ball down. He's straight in on the one. We may see a replay of the last rack. This young man is just extraordinary.
Yeah, ominous signs for Pehlivanovic.
I'm still waiting for one of these players in these Pro Billiard Series events to just put together a 4-pack. I think Mika Immonen did it in one of the previous events last year. I think he's been the only one to do it.
Yeah, just slightly hampered over that 6. You can see right where he'd put his bridge hand, so queuing a little longer into this one than would be normally the case. But you know, you see a lot of these young, tall lads too that generate so much cue power. You know, his countryman that we saw in the semifinal that got beat by Sanjin, Daniel Maciel, same sort of body type, you know, long and lean, very athletic, and they all bring a level of professionalism to the table.
Their demeanor, everything about it.
They treat the game with a lot of respect.
Did he get enough angle of follow up for the 5? Yes, he did. He got perfect. He just absolutely
doesn't want to be straight on this. No, he's got a little angle. That's good. And again, as we suggested, he doesn't waste a lot of time at the table. Settles himself, makes sure that everything is in one mind. And
now see, this is impressive. He's going to play this right on the line, on his positional line. I love when I see players do that. And he does this a lot. And that's exactly what he looks for when he comes over and looks at it. See how free-flowing he is with not only his swing, but the cue ball. He's not afraid to move it around, and he moves it around with accuracy.
And almost always a sign of confidence too when you're not shy to let that cue ball run.
Well, the scary thing is, if you were to watch these 2 racks, you would think he was practicing and not in a final of one of the major tournaments.
2-0. Viktor Zieliński.
And more importantly, 2-0, 2 breaking runs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the path to the trophy goes right through this man. He's the holder, and he obviously doesn't want to relinquish it, not without a fight.
Yeah, he's a Predator-sponsored player.
Our referee, head referee, John Lehman, overseeing proceedings here on the main table. Victor had the benefit of playing his semifinal on this table, whereas you and I covered
Sanjin
and Daniel Maciel on the other one, table number 2.
But to Sanjin's credit, he was here practicing long before Victor was.
Yeah, not many empty seats.
And Victor's matches to lead to get him to the final is he hasn't lost a set. I mean, he hasn't lost a match. He's still undefeated all the way through. Paul Song, Alvin Anguito, Gerson Martinez Boza, Mishko Fortunsky, David Alcaide, Junling Chang, Duak Kwak Hong.
Well,
that's a list of champions.
He's got a shot at the 1, so he's still got this break work, and he just didn't get a ball down this time, but he'd have been golden had he.
Yes. And the man coming to the table, his path to the final was losing his, nope, excuse me. Oh, my thing just went out. I hate technology. He defeated Lucas Fracasso Werner, Hiroshi Takenaka, Radislav Babika, Harold Stolka, Simon Kudal, Alex Kazakis, Wu Kun Lin, Vitali Patsuda, and just finished with Daniel Maciel.
I'm glad you're the one that has to pronounce all those names.
Well, I'm glad nobody holds me to pronouncing them right.
Good shot. Just had to avoid that side point, and mission accomplished. Now he's showing you where he needs to get to with the cue ball.
Yeah, he's
back to the middle.
He's got to have that window.
This is going to be a great final. Both of these two young players, the future of the game in Europe and globally. You know, 21 and 22 years respectively. The younger man at the table now.
Both Euro champions.
How far they've come at such young ages.
The man at the table, what, he's an 8-time Euro junior champion?
Well, what did I say about him getting the cue ball cleaned a lot? He doesn't waste much time, does he?
And the other one in the chair is the youngest ever Euro Tour champ at 16.
You know, maybe this is part of his strategy too. He knows the way Victor plays, and maybe to just try and keep him in his seat a little longer, and you know, possibly break his rhythm. You never know.
And that is a great point, because what does almost every player I've ever seen when they get their opponent that's free flowing, that likes a rhythm, they want to break that rhythm. So it's gamesmanship at the same time. Is it on purpose? I don't know, but some do it. Some do it on purpose.
Good stroke there. Let the cue out.
This cloth is so responsive. And I think Sanjin is well aware that any small mistake he makes will be made larger by Victor. If you walked into a club and didn't know better and watched these two guys playing on a table, you think they were juniors.
Wasn't long ago they were.
Yeah.
They don't make many mistakes, do they?
Once in line, they stay there. So far they're both off to a great start. And right after this 10 ball, we'll go to a one minute break and be right back with you folks. And after watching his opponent break and run the first two racks and then break dry, he takes his own rack, and now it'll be his break. Sanjin Pehlivanovic from Bosnia-Herzegovina, 2017 Klagenfurt Open quarterfinalist.
Sorry, the what? Open? The
Klagenfurt.
Oh,
The reason I say that is they
bless you.
Predator had me come out to Austria. I was so tickled to be asked to go to Austria and do the event there. It was the first world team event that's been brought back, and I think that would be a great start to every year a yearly event.
How's this break, George? Would you like to bottle this break?
If I could bottle that break, I'd go back to playing 10 ball. But watch how his position. He's always on the right side, folks. I'm not saying this to Jim. It's for the benefit of the players out there that are up and coming. He's always on the right side, right angle to go to where he needs to go for the next shot. He must have pocketed the 4 ball on the break. He did, because he wasn't worried. Now he wants to see where he needs to be for the 5. To come off the rail and slide back towards the 6 and then get on the 7, and everything is just, it just makes the game look so easy. And your position is nothing but a bunch of unmissable shots.
Yeah, and notwithstanding the pressure of a major final, you know, we can't discount that either. You know, they're making it look like it's a walk in the park, but
Their Fargo's Sanjin Pehlivanovic is 804, Viktor Zieliński 810, and their Fargo's are going up, both of them, after the performance here against 192 players, and as the list I read off, some of those the top players in the world.
yeah, there weren't many that skipped the Las Vegas Open. Most notable probably Jason Shaw, but there weren't that many, were there?
No, they were here. And both of these players have yet to taste defeat in this event.
He just strikes me like a player that's well and truly in the zone. Like the eyes don't really go anywhere apart from the surface. And everything is about the mission that he's on right now.
And in his chair, it's the same thing. Always on the table, watching his opponent or watching the table.
Yeah, it's going to be a great final. The only thing so far that's even brought Sanjin back to the table was the dry break from Zieliński. So 2-2. Pehlivanovic, Zieliński. Buckle in, folks. This one's going to be a tight one.
40 balls run. No misses. Except for the dry break, as you just mentioned. Sponsors are CSI, Predator Group, Alpha Coin, Kamui, Jam Up, Fargo Rate, Cyberts, Medalla, Light Beer, and Ramza Puerto Rico. We are at the Rio Hotel and Casino with 4 ballrooms, 3,300 7-foot Predator tables for the league players from the BCA and USA pool leagues, part of the CSI Expo. And Sanjin breaking off, tied at 2. There goes the 5 in the side pocket. And will the 8-ball force a combo? It did. It looks like it's open.
Yep, 1-8. 1-8 to stay at the table. And that 5 finding gravity in the side pocket, affording him the opportunity. So, got to be careful where this 1 goes. Maintaining position to the 1 should he get the 8. Not straightforward.
Oh, I missed the 1-8. And I think part of the reason he missed the 1-8 was he was forcing that cue ball to that side, because that is the side that the 1 ball would have traveled, and he had to be there for position in the same pocket.
Well, the 8 deposited, courtesy of the defending champion, and now a rack that could easily have been Pehlivanovic to control. Well, it's Zieliński. And here's the shot. The bottom this chance.
Just perfect angles. On the right side of the ball every time. Both of them.
Attention, please.
Yeah, tough to tell exactly the angle on this 4, whether he can float down, stay inside the 7, or he wants to try and stun and just get back towards the middle of the table. Yeah, it was kind of a stun follow, that shot, George, and I think that's what he wanted to take a little extra time to consider, because he wanted to be committed. And again, that shows a lot of experience. You know, he's got a very mature head on young shoulders.
You know, he really does, because the natural angle of that shot looked like it would go right towards the 7. And he used that stun follow, as you mentioned, to open up to the right side of it.
Yeah, but again, you know,
that's experience.
It's a testament to this young star's composure,
and probably a testament to his countrymen hanging around him all the time. On the hill for the first set.
Half a chance was all it took. And 3-2 in front and breaking for the first set. Yeah, when you're in the heat of the moment, and it's pretty easy for all of us to be sitting back and watching and analyzing, but when you're out there and you know your nerves are tingling, and you know, to be able to pull back and reassess the situation, understand that you've got to be fully focused before you execute. Like I said, he's only 22 years old.
And he looks a lot more settled than he did last year, and twice as settled as he did the year before.
Well, here's a scary thought. His best is ahead of him.
Oh, I know. Well, it'll be great for us to watch. We don't have to worry about playing him. Not that we ever did, but yeah.
Well, we'll see if he can put one more good break together and seal the deal here in the first set.
All depends what this 6-ball. Well, it's open. The 2-ball is.
Yeah, not so much on the 3. And that may be the reason he may not go at this 2. It just doesn't. There's no positional rewards.
Yes, sir.
Well, I say that. You know, I'm looking at the 3-5-9, and so is he right now. I wonder. It's tough to tell.
Well,
Tough to tell.
It's also a 2-way shot. If he doesn't make it, stays up there, and the cue ball will be behind there.
Yeah, it just. It wasn't. Well, look out.
He's
Well.
not okay. Not okay.
Well, that's a mishit, pure and simple.
That's
He
because,
Didn't need to bring that corner pocket into the equation at all.
well, I think that if he cuts the ball in, it's shy of the corner pocket. He undercut it.
Oh, he
So
was
hit
playing
the-
safe. Full stop, George.
you-
He was
okay, I thought maybe he was
absolutely-
playing it.
No, he was playing safe there. He just caught that a little bit too thick.
Sanjin going for a 3 foul, or put that ball close to the 10 ball and maybe get an early game out of it.
Yeah, again, that's born of where the 3 ball sits. No value.
Extension, please. Yes, sir.
Well, Victor's called the 8. This would be some effort to hit it because he's got a masse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you better hurry.
If he's going to masse this, he's got to get between the first diamond from the side pocket and the middle.
Now I think he's changed and called the 9.
Foul.
Yeah, just he was going to move it back. Yeah, he just surrounded by confusion there. He was almost going to move the 6 back and say, "Listen, John, I didn't mean it."
Well, when you're playing, isn't it almost an automatic move to, if you touch the ball, you reach back down to grab it?
Look, he's I'll try and lock him up one more time here. Yeah, I don't think.
Husky, you're on 2 fouls.
Yeah, he's on 2 fouls, but you know the reason that Sanjin isn't really pleased, I don't think this is as tough as he wanted it to be.
The only thing tougher would it be get closer to the bottom rail, to the right-hand rail.
And there you go. That's the reason. Didn't really need to spin it much either. So now he's not on 2 fouls anymore, and that 3 is still the insurance policy. Yeah, that was a pretty weak effort, I think, from Pehlivanovic there.
That one's a little, well, has he leaked over the ball there to open up the kick bank, or the kick. The 10 ball blocks that. He's gonna have to masse this to hit the, yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna have to call the 10. This is a makeable shot.
Foul.
I would play this 10 ball.
The clock, please.
Of course.
I think that's almost a guarantee given where the 3 is.
Mm-hmm. Changes his mind. It's a
you know
runnable
what?
rack.
The 3-5 goes. 3-5 combination into the corner pocket. He spotted that, and the game plan changes.
Extension, please.
Back to plan A.
Handball. Yes, sir.
You got to expect him to get this. And get it, he does. 3-3, our first set, going right down to the wire.
Shades of things to come.
Well, he was always in control of that rack, never relinquished it. Just seemed like Zieliński was always fighting from the back end, just trying to stay above water. And in the end, he couldn't. "21 years of age, he's won 8 junior titles as Sanjan Pehlivanovic. Zieliński, well, he's only a year older and the holder of this event. He's hoping for a chance. He knows he's going to be in his chair while his opponent breaks. And he raced out to a 2-0 advantage. And then a dry break. And it was 2-2.
Yeah, he ran out his rack and then broke and ran his own. Sanjan did. I forgot what it was that was it a dry break that caused him to come back? Yes. It caused him to.
No, he missed
missed
the 8
okay,
combination into the corner pocket, and then that got Victor back to the table to go 3-2 in front. So here we are, 3-3. Now, what he wouldn't give for a tailor-made break right here.
A lot more than he'd give for this break.
Well, at least he hasn't left anything. This means we're going to be assured of a little bit of play in this last rack.
Will he stick the cue ball behind the deuce, or will he run the cue ball to the opposite side of the table? And the answer is he took distance and cover.
Extension, please.
Just think of the monsters that played in this tournament.
There were plenty.
Fedor Gorst, Shane Van Boening, Junling Chang, Yu Lung Chang, Kopini. In fact, I called the Kopini Fedor Gorst match, and that's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Alvin Ocean,
Alvin
Josh
Ocean.
Filler.
Oh yeah, we can just go on and on.
Alex Pegulayan, all the Filipinos.
Yeah, Roland Garcia, Lee Van Corteza.
He's going to have to show something here. And it's going to have to be special. To get from the 2 back down for the 3 is going to be jacked up. And these are never easy to control.
The very fine Vietnamese player that just lost to Victor Zieliński, Duong Quoc Hong from Vietnam.
Yeah, pretty good shot. He's kind of cringing a little bit, but he's done well to get there. Just Again, he's not ideal because it looks like the natural path the cue ball is going to take goes into the 6. And these are crucial moments in this match because this last rack is going to determine the first set. Courage. How much courage does it take to play that shot? And you know what they say about courage breeds confidence. What a shot.
And that
what
one
a
too.
moment.
Could have gone safe.
And no reason for him not to secure the rack and the set now. They're all there for the taking. Quite an out. And when it looked like it was a little tricky, one brave shot from the reigning champion, and the rest was easy. And look at him. Can't wait to get at him. Viktor Zieliński secures set number 1. Sanjan Pehlivanovic off for a quick break. And speaking of breaks, we're going to take a 2-minute one. We'll be right back.
Don't jinx me now, though. You know? And you guys are doing great. Keep up the applause. Thank you very much. You're a great audience. On you. It's a sea of pool tables here at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino. The Alfa Las Vegas Open. It's finals day. A mecca of pool playing. The place to be for amateurs and professionals alike. And where else can you go? What sport can you go to and compete as an amateur and hang around all the best players in the world? Get your photo taken, get the autographs, maybe pick up a little tip here and there.
And here we go. The players are walking back into the arena. Zieliński first. Well, Viktor won the lag and broke first, which means that Sajin will have the second set break, opening break.
Sure is impressive, though. You know, watching both these guys, I mean, the match turned with barely a mistake from either side. So talented, so fearless.
Are they too young to be scared?
Too young to know any different.
Mm-hmm.
And referee John Lehman places the cue ball down for Sanjan Pehlivanovic, Bosnia and Herzegovina. And you wonder if these two have ever locked horns in junior events, being only a year apart. And you'd have to think they have in Europe.
I totally agree. Sure. Great point.
And what the history might be between them. Don't think he can get through to this one. Two deposited into the side pocket, and a push out confirms he can't get through to it. Oh, is he pushing into a jump?
Mm-hmm.
He sure is.
Either one of these players will be glad to have this jump.
Well, I think Zieliński pretty well confirmed what he was doing when he walked to the table with his jump cue. So he calls the one.
There isn't a shot Zieliński will turn down. So confident to just fire at a white flag.
Well, maybe not the worst result in the world. Happy to see that one go down, even though it wasn't called. And 10 ball is all call shot, so three the next ball on, so he's had a look at it. He brings Victor back out of his chair. But containment, the only option here. Jump possibly to try and play safe. We'll jump to try and make it. That'd be tricky.
He called the 7 ball?
Yeah, because you know what? If you hit the edge of the three, tough to keep the cue ball on the table.
Oh,
so he's looking for a fuller hit. Wow. Called the 7 and got it.
It looks like he might have ended up with a shot on the 3. I'm wondering if he has, oh, that's way too far out. I was thinking he might have a rail first off the left side of the 3, but it's way too far out still.
Yeah, still a gutsy call to call the 7 and get it.
Yeah, he's going to 2-rail kick behind the 3 towards the pocket. Careful with the scratch on the bottom corner of the
Yeah, if you get in too deep,
Yep.
George, that's right.
Oh, it was just part of the speed. What a great shot that turned out.
It was threatening, though.
And I was saying to be careful of the pocket like it was a bad thing. It turned out to be a great thing.
He's calling the 9.
Two-rail kick. No, he's going to spin it back. Going to go to the head rail and come back at it. See if this cloth lets it grab. Oh, beautiful shot. That's so close to making it, just to get the cue ball back there.
Yeah, he couldn't care less. He knows he's left a chance at the 3. As good a hit as it was, and a very knowledgeable crowd here in Las Vegas at the Rio. They all understand it too, but he knows he's probably given the first rack away in a set that he has to win.
It's fairly straight, but he has, well, he has 2 choices here, maybe even 3. That was the 3rd. He gets such good action on his cue ball. Both boys, both young men do. Wasted no time taking the first game of the second set.
And that he does. 1-0. The defending champion in set number 2. Already first one in the bank.
And if you're Pehlivanovic, how do you guard against him not running the set out on you?
You never, when you're sat in your chair, you never really worry about what the other player does. You're just always trying to focus and stay ready, stay positive. You know, you got to believe that a chance is going to come, and you just want to know that you're going to be ready for it and that you're going to take it. An absolute picture of focus and concentration, though, is Sanjin. Radoslav Babica, just the red shirt in the middle there, probably checking his phone for messages or sending messages, maybe passing on what's going on to a lot of the interested people from their homeland. Dry.
And open on the 1. In fact, everything is open. 4 balls in a tough location. But it has a home on the bottom there on your right-hand part of your screen. And on the top, too. A lot of European players in the stands up there. I just saw Aleska Pechel and a young lady, 19-year-old from, I forget, I think it was Russia. I can't remember where exactly she was from. Aleska Guliakova. little tool for marking the balls that are available at some of the vendors here.
You know, I see Pehlivanovic wiping his cue down a lot. Those composite cues, I mean, I remember the wooden cues used to, you know, every now and then they would acquire dampness. And, you know, you're in a pretty dry and arid climate here in Las Vegas, and I know the air conditioning's on here, but I mean, wearing a glove and with a composite shaft, I get the feeling that might just be something that's become habitual with him as opposed to a necessity.
I totally agree. The couple times I've tried a carbon fiber cue and a glove, it's too slick for me. But it's not a matter of what's for me, it's what he likes, and like you said, maybe it's just force of habit.
Coming from a snooker background, we used to wipe our cues down all the time because it, you know, playing in the UK, it gets pretty damp.
And what would you call that loud squeak, like a violin?
Well, you'd wet it because you'd wet the cloth to try and dry off the wooden shaft. I don't know any snooker players that are using any kind of carbon fiber or composite shafts yet. Maybe there are a few. There were none in my time. So you'd wet the cloth and just the dampness would, you know, you'd clean your shaft and then it would dry off. Go through your bridge hand a lot smoother. Nice control. It's heating up. There's just so little between these two. Worthy finalists. And the fans are really getting treated to a great final.
Extremely high quality. At least 3 break and runs so far. Did I miss one or two? Yeah, no, they traded off games at the end of the last set, but I don't. Was the last one? No, it couldn't have been a break and run because Sanjin won and Victor ran out the balls there. Sanjin broke, excuse me.
Rack number 3. No friends at the table, but he hasn't left a shot at the one.
Shot falls.
And Victor's got to be a little careful here. He doesn't want to push and leave Sanjin a shot where he can play a good aggressive safety.
Push up by the 6, Jim? So what do you see? works.
Yeah, he was trying to lock the 5 up to the 9 too, just to buy a little insurance.
Well, he's got a good kick on the 1 to send it over by the 4-8 and hold the cue ball to the right side of the 310. He can also hit it straight on, looks like.
It's close. It's close to whether
really
he's
is.
left this. Maybe he just has to jump over the edge. It was always going to be risky. He knew he was bumping the 1 over towards the corner pocket. So he had to find cover.
Attention, please.
Well, we see the 1 track down towards the cue ball and come to rest where really hasn't left anything for Sanjin.
1 ball to this corner and position on the 8. A good 2-way at the same time.
Well, possible 1 in the bottom corner. Yeah, outside chance,
No,
but
just
no.
went.
Safety, discretion. Well, Victor keeps jumping out of trouble and escaping. He's left a bank shot on here on the 1.
Yes. This might cut in, but the corner pocket might come into play.
Another jump. Back for the short cue.
I think this is more about getting the cue ball behind the 9-5.
Yeah, he's bought himself a chance this time. Can only go to the well so many times. Pehlivanovic, his expression rarely changes. He just stays very composed in his chair, stays collected and focused, exudes a lot of positive body language, sits upright.
May have wanted to be a little straighter, but he'll just go to the bottom rail, I believe, and come over towards the 5. Or will he just draw it over? He's going to come over. He didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah, he's got so much room to work there too. It's inexcusable, that mistake. Inexcusable. And he'd be the first to tell you. He's got so much room to work there. I know I've said this, George, and quite likely with you co-commentating with me, when I've seen positional mistakes, 90% of the time, it's because they've been under hit.
I think that has a lot to do with the cloth being probably, I don't want to call it slower, but more true than it used to be when it was faster.
Yeah, the players just seem to misjudge it, misjudge the speed. That was a pretty straightforward positional shot for guys at this level.
I thought he might have changed his mind and gone for the long rail kick. Wow, he was able to cut it in. I didn't think he had.
Yeah, nor did I.
Did he go rail first? Yes. No, he didn't. It just cut right in. No, he didn't. At first I thought it did, but the cue ball would have responded a lot different.
You're fighting with yourself, George.
I know.
That was a great recovery, but he's off angle on the 6. Not going to be able to get close to the 7. But still, what a recovery.
That was a great shot.
One good shot. Dig into that cue ball a little bit from long distance and hold, stay above the 8.
Stayed there.
Zieliński jumped out of his chair there. It was like a jack in the box coming out of that chair. That's almost surely going to cost Pehlivanovic his 3rd rack. And 2-1 it is. Defending champion.
And we'll take a short break for an interview.
That feels really amazing, I think. Still like my biggest win so far in my career, so yeah, it feels amazing to be back here and try to defend my title. I will do my best to defend this one. I got longer trips, more days of playing. I mean, I'm prepared, I'm feeling quite well. Good to play like 10 days in a row, so it shouldn't be a problem for myself. I just hope that I will show my best game and go as deep as I can. I feel confident. I mean, like last season for me was really great. So I expect that this could be even more better because like last year it was tough for me and like major finals. So hopefully I will like win some more major tournaments this year.
Welcome back, everyone. Some words from our defending champion just on that short break.
here he is with this, oh, with his own break. Well, nothing on the break, but nothing offensive that I can see. Looks like he may have a nice little kick and stick. Didn't quite get in deep enough behind the one ball to hold the cue ball there and create some distance.
Well, that's about as much negativity as I've seen from Pehlivanovic the last two matches. You get the feeling he can see this one slipping away.
Well, these balls, the way they lay, Victor has made quick work of, oh, he came up a little short here, but he should be okay. But he made short work of him before, and he's a break and run from clinching the title if he works through these balls. But as we both know, he's got to get this done first.
Well, it's not bad. He kind of let the cue ball go there. He still got a shot at the 4. But I highly doubt he was playing it into this pocket.
Something tells me this won't stop him.
Yeah, back on track now.
Victor has played 7 PBS events, a 2nd in Germany, a 9th in Michigan, a 5th in Las Vegas, in last year's championship. And he's 1 rack away from a repeat.
An amazing feat. If he can get there, an amazing feat. 3-1 he leads. With such an elite field too, to repeat.
He's had one of the hottest players in pool watching his last two matches. Francisco Sanchez-Reis was sitting right behind us at the semifinal. He's in the stands right now watching this one. Speaking of elite, Fedor Gorst. We went down with those names a while back, but it's just amazing to be able to repeat with that type of field. And some of the matches that I witnessed, I mean, some of the quality play, and this has been every bit of that. He started out with 2 break and runs. This is how he started the match. Can he end it? with the break and run. Nobody wants to make a ball in the break here more than he does. There it is. And he has a shot. Does it go by the corner of the side pocket, the knuckle, or whatever it is it's called?
Yeah, he's got the shot on the 1. 2's at the wrong end of the table as far as he's concerned. But if he can float this 1 in and just leave himself long on the 2. He's got a small window there. Or is he going to try and draw to where he's holding his cue now?
I think he has angle enough if he can hit to the side. I don't know if he can cross the table back though. Go to the right side and back again. Oh, he tried to follow. It's going to work in his favor. What a beautiful way to have ended that match. With a break and run right here. Now Sanjan wants to fight his way back. Fight, claw, whatever way he can.
If the bank is available, he'll go at it because it affords perfect position to the 2.
He showed us that earlier, didn't he? With the bank.
Must not have been there. Probably couldn't squeeze it past the 2.
Two-rail kick here. Well, hello.
Oh, who'd begrudge him a break? This was a good hit and a pretty kind roll.
I have a feeling he might just kick this in. He did, but not where he called it. Going into the 3 ball with the 2 and the cue ball to the left of the 4. Nice and soft, just enough to get a rail.
Nicely played. Good touch. And he had to get the rail.
Got your highlight pin out?
I got the highlight pen out. If this is the way this one's going to end, that's for sure.
Wow, what a way to end it.
Yeah, Sanjan is, he's kind of looking around. I can tell you exactly what's going through his mind. Seriously? How often are you going to keep getting away with these?
Think he's thinking the same thing? I have a feeling if it wasn't for the 6-10, I'd call a match. Although this 3 ball's laying tough.
And I'll tell you where the 5 is. That's perfect
To break up.
to go after that 6.
Oh, there you go. Nice call.
So he'll leave the angle. He'll stay short on that 5. leave him all the options to be able to attack that 6 ball. And Sanjan Pehlivanovic's fate in this final will rest very heavily on whether or not Zieliński lands on the 6 from this 5. But he's got the perfect angle. His choice of how he wants to attack it.
Albin Ocean played a shot like this versus Billy Thorpe and broke the 10 ball out just perfectly. Instead, he breaks out the 6 ball just perfectly. It's 4 balls away.
The beginning of the end. But if you're a Viktor Zieliński fan, the beginning of the beginning.
It's 2 in a row.
As this young man has the pool world at his feet. And what a talent he is. And clearly on display for everyone here in Las Vegas to see. Yep, the celebration starts. And who would have thought it? Viktor Zieliński goes back-to-back in Vegas. The Alpha Coin Las Vegas Open, a repeat champion from Poland, this 22-year-old superstar. Unbelievable. What a feat and what a player.
What an honor to come and take this match with you, Jim.
A lot
this
of fun,
is awesome.
George. A lot of fun, pal, and more to come. But thank you, George. I appreciate that.
2023 champion, back-to-back champion, Mr. Viktor Zieliński.
For all of us here in Vegas, folks, hope you enjoyed it. The pictures will walk you through this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just give us a minute, we'll reset and we'll do the trophy presentation. Esteban, you're here? Do we have Karim? So I'm striking each for 5. Yeah, it's going to. I'll take that. I got it. You can see. You can't, don't worry, Morgan, you can't cash it, so there's no reason to keep it. We're just waiting for Sanjan to get back from the restaurant. Okay. Hey, congratulations. Back to back, sir. Very nice. To watch you next year going like that again. Nobody knows that. start in 1 minute. We're just waiting for a runner-up to return. Did you enjoy that? Yeah. Victor, right here, please. Sanjin. Thank you. Las Vegas Open Awards Ceremony. We are hosted here at the CSI Expo, the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our founding partners are the Predator Group, CueSports International. Our title sponsor for the event is Alfa Las. Our official partners are Louis Brand, the Gallery, Rose, Puerto Rico, Discover Puerto Rico, and Fargo Ring. Our event is played on the best equipment in the world, Predator Apex Pro pool table, covered with Predator Arcadia performance block, with Predator Arcos 2 walls, under the Predator Arena Billiard lights. Right now, I'd like to introduce our dignitaries for the awards presentation. Representing CueSports International, Mr. Ozzie Reynolds. Representing the Predator Group, Mr. Karim Nawaz. And representing Alpha Coin, and to make the presentation of the strength and our trophies, please welcome Mr. Esteban Robles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our 2022 and 2023 Alfa Las Vegas Open champion, Mr. Victor Zieliński. You can do the check, Esteban.
So trophy first or check first?
Check. Ozzie, trophy, please.
Words, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug. Nice bunny.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a round of applause